Okay, so let's talk about punctuation. I know. It sounds like one of those boring things we all had to learn in school, right? All those rules. But what if I told you they're not just rules? They're actually power tools. Seriously, punctuation is what gives your writing clarity, rhythm, and a real voice. And today, we're going to see exactly how.
And the stakes? Oh, they can be incredibly high. Just look at this. On the left, you've got a pretty horrifying suggestion. But on the right, a sweet, simple invitation. And the only thing that changed was one tiny little comma. This is the perfect example of why punctuation isn't just a tiny detail, it's literally the difference between being a cannibal and being a loving grandchild.
So let's start at the beginning with our most fundamental tools, the marks that bring our thoughts to a clean, crisp stop. You can think of these as the absolute foundation, the things that build the whole structure of our sentences.
And here it is, maybe the most powerful tool in your entire writing kit, the full stop. Or, the period. Its job is so simple, but so crucial. It just tells your reader, hey, that idea, it's done. Take a quick breath, here comes the next one. This is the bedrock of all clear writing. Because without the full stop, you get this, the dreaded run-on sentence. It's just breathless and confusing, and it makes your reader do all the hard work of trying to figure out where one idea ends and the next one begins. It just rambles on and on, leaving everyone lost.
But now, look what happens when we put a few simple dots in there. I went to the store, I saw my friend, we talked for a while. See? Each thought is its own neat little package. It's clean, it's clear, and it's so much easier to understand. That's the power of the full stop.
Of course, the full stop has a couple of siblings. You've got the question mark, which is pretty straightforward, right? It turns a statement into a direct question, and then you have the exclamation mark, which is all about injecting energy or surprise or some kind of strong feeling. Just a word of advice. Use that one sparingly to really make it count.
All right, let's move on to the comma. So, if the full stop is a hard stop sign, the comma is more like a gentle tap on the brakes. It creates a pause. This little guy is probably the most versatile and, let's be honest, the most misused punctuation mark of them all.
Now, to keep things simple, we're just going to focus on its two most important jobs. First, it's used to separate items in a list. And second, it works with the joining word, like and, but, or so, to connect two complete thoughts. So let's see that first job in action, the whole list thing.
Okay, it's your turn. Quick pop quiz. Take a look at this sentence on your screen. We've got a list of 3 things here, so where would you put the commas to make it read clearly? Take a second.
And there it is, a comma after the introductory phrase, and then one between each item in the list. For this project, we need research, planning, and execution. You can almost hear the rhythm it creates, can't you? That's the comma doing its job perfectly.
All right, time to level up. We're getting into the advanced tools now, the semicolon and the colon. But hey, don't be intimidated. These are not just for stuffy academic papers. They're actually awesome for showing a really sophisticated link between your ideas.
Let's break them down with a really simple analogy. Think of the semicolon as a super comma. It connects 2 complete sentences that are super closely related. The colon, on the other hand, is like a drum roll. It basically tells your reader, get ready, here comes something important, like an explanation or a list.
Check out the semicolon in action here. We have 2 full sentences. The presentation was a success, and everyone was impressed. Now, we could use a full stop, sure, but the semicolon shows a deeper link, right? The second part explains why the first part is true. It's just elegant.
And here's our colon, the drum roll. She had one goal in mind. See that little pause? The colon creates that anticipation right before the big reveal, to master English punctuation. It's a fantastic way to add some real emphasis.
So, what's the big idea here? What's the final takeaway? It's really this. Every single punctuation mark is a conscious choice. You are actively shaping how your reader feels and understands your words. It's not just about being correct, it's about being powerful.
So let's do a quick recap of their secret powers. The full stop is your #1 tool for creating clarity. The comma lets you control the rhythm of your sentences. The semicolon is all about showing a sophisticated connection. And the colon? That's for building anticipation. At the end of the day, punctuation is how you translate the voice and the tone that's inside your head onto the page for somebody else. When you really get a handle on these tools, you're not just writing correctly, you're writing with a voice that is clear, professional, and impossible to ignore.
So, the next time you write anything, Doesn't matter if it's a big report or just a quick email. Ask yourself this: is my punctuation helping me or hurting me? Is it creating clarity or just more confusion? Your writing is telling a story. What story is your punctuation telling?